Welcome to the Millennial Life Coaches podcast. At MLC, our mission is simple: add value to help you take on massive action towards your life goals. Here, we feature amazing coaches from all over the world, share compelling stories, and discuss proven practices to help keep your energy high and in the flow. Learn more about MLC at millenniallifecoaches.com.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of How to Get Ahead with Millennial Life Coaches. I am your host, Tanya, and today I am joined by an incredible coach. Welcome, Dr. Patrice, to the show. I'm super excited to have you.
Super excited to be here. Thanks for the opportunity.
Of course. So, Dr. Patrice specializes in transforming our health, specifically when we're looking at potentially chronic illnesses and what that could look like to overcome. So, let's dive right in. What does all of that mean?
Well, as a physician with over 20 years of clinical experience in regular medicine, what I came to find was that my patients would get well from one chronic illness only to succumb to another. And so there was a large piece of my training that I felt was missing when I kept getting frustrated by that process. And so I realized I need some more tools in my toolbox.
Mhm.
And it wasn't until I had my own health challenges after my baby that I decided to go find those tools for myself and subsequently for my patients, clients now.
Love that. So was it right around that time where you had your baby and you made that shift? Was that kind of like the defining moment of how you kind of shifted from practical medicine to what you do now, which is still a form of practical medicine?
Yeah, so I think that I think that it was the final nail. I had been, I would say, unfulfilled, unhappy, however which way you want to look at it, in medicine for really a long time, and I could never figure out why.
Mhm.
I had the paycheck. I worked for the hospital. I did all the things, but I felt like I didn't have enough time with my patients. I felt like all I could had time to do was throw drugs at them and send them out the door and wait for 2 weeks for them to tell me they were having a side effect. Well, duh, I know that. And it was really hard to watch people younger, 45, 50-ish, have those events when I was using the best medicines I knew how to use and sharing the best information that I had at my fingertips, and then realizing that why? Why do we do all these things and have all these guidelines and whatnot, and still people struggle? And it was big struggles. They would have strokes, they would have heart attacks. These are things that they wouldn't die from, they would just lose their quality of life from.
Mm,
And I didn't
that's
want to be that.
frustrating.
I didn't want that for myself. I didn't want that for the people that I was serving.
Fair. So walk us through the transformation. You had this moment, you had this, I don't want this. How did you go from that to what you do now?
Yeah, so I had one baby and he came with a 30-pound price tag that I did not need.
Oh, wow. Fair.
I've always been overweight or obese my entire life. When I look back at pictures when I was, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, I was the kid with the chips in the picture, like every picture. And so our families loved us with food. That's just how it went. And there was no, go eat a piece of fruit. There was no, there was none of that. There was, oh, you want the Lay's chips? You want the big bag, or or you want the little bag? They didn't even make little bags back then. Um,
Fair.
so I found myself running up the stairs one day because my child's bedroom was upstairs. I don't know why, as adults, we felt that we should be downstairs, but he should be upstairs. I don't really know about that. But I heard a cry that I had never heard before. And I went tearing up the stairs, and I was so short of breath at the top of the stairs that he's still screaming, but I couldn't move another step. I wasn't sure if I was having a heart attack. I wasn't sure if I was throwing a PE. I wasn't sure what was happening. I just knew that it wasn't right.
That's scary.
And so in that moment, what I realized was that I couldn't attend to my child's needs. What kind of mother was I going to be? What kind of doctor was I that I wasn't taking care of my own health, but I expected my patients to take care of theirs? Why am I here? I paid all this money for a medical degree and I don't have all the tools that I need to save myself and to be better for others. And I always wanted to lead by example. I had always been a lifestyle medicine physician. I just didn't have a title for it back then. So he's still screaming. I'm trying not to die at the top of the stairs. And I finally collected myself. It was probably 7 minutes or so. Tended to him and then realized, okay, I've got to figure this out because this is not how I want my life to be. This is not how I don't want to die. And I just worked really hard to like marinate this baby, all of the things. So I started to Google. What did we do before Google, right?
I don't know.
Um, and what I came across was the American College of Lifestyle Medicine, and here was this 40 years of studies showing how they were reversing diabetes and obesity and heart disease and Alzheimer's and all kinds of things. And I had a lot of feelings about that. I felt duped in some ways by the medical system. I felt, gosh, where have I been? Have I been living under a rock? Like, here's all of this stuff. Like, where have I been? And I realized I had been in my 4x4 office, working really hard, trying to see however many patients a day, trying to keep all the wheels on the bus. And I hadn't had a moment to open my eyes and look around me.
Hello and good afternoon. It's your Free Spirit Yogi Moni here from the Free Spirit Yogi community. Just popping in to say hello and how much I love Millennial Life Coaches. I've been a member of their platform now, for quite a few years, and I can't say enough good things about being part of their community and the support that they give when you are trying to get yourself out there as a new coach. Definitely say give them a try, check them out. You won't be disappointed. All right, see you on the other side. Bye.
Maternity leave gave me the first look of, oh, I really want my legacy to be different. Oh, I really went into medicine because I wanted to heal people. That's not what I'm doing. Oh, I really wanted to make people feel seen, heard, and valued. Oh, I can't really do that in a 9-minute visit the way I want to. Not that I ever did anything in a 9-minute visit because I was chronically behind because I wanted people to feel that. And it led me to 15-hour days and burnout and all kinds of things. So I took those principles and I applied them to my own life. So I basically used myself as a beta patient.
Nice.
And I was able to release that 30, now 40 some pounds after 30 pounds after 18 months, and the rest of it's been a bit of a journey. And then, so thank you for the clap. I appreciate that. And then I started with a whole food, plant forward diet. And then when my weight plateaued, I was now ready to pick up the next thing. And I very quickly learned that stackable habits aren't that hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I went and found that Zumba class I'd been driving past since the beginning of time. And I found pieces of myself that I didn't remember existed.
Oh, that's powerful.
It was so cool. Like, I went into a Zumba class thinking I was going to exercise, but what I found was my love for dancing. I had danced as a child, all the way up until college, actually. And you go to work and you start doing the things and you forget who you are. And so that whole thing gave me such a gift, such a gift. I used to chronically worry about my family because I've got diabetes and cancer and all these horrible things in my family. And I thought that I had no choice but to just walk into all of that. And at the top of the stairs, I realized I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm not walking into that. I'm going to figure this out. And that I did. To this day, I'm still not diabetic. As far as I know, I am cancer free. Thank you, Jesus. And here we are. My child is 19. He did not die in that moment. He's off to college and now doing grown things, which is crazy sounding in my head.
Happens so
And
quick.
it's really cool. And I now get to show other people how simple and practical lifestyle changes can be.
I love it. So when you look at the chronic illness, do you start with the lifestyle piece and kind of talk about the nutrition and what we're fueling our body with prior to that? Or do you kind of take a overall snapshot of who's in front of you and how do you move forward with that?
Yeah, so I mean, I look at all of it, but in this space, I want the client to work on the thing that's most pertinent to them.
Makes sense.
So we do a discovery call. I don't even call it that anymore. Health strategy session is now how I try to speak of it, because at the end of the day, that's what this is. It's the first step into your transformation in this space. And with that, they get a form that asks a couple questions. One of those questions is about what are your diagnoses? I don't think I ask about medicines anymore. I did ask about that before, but at the end of the day, I want to know, where do you struggle? What's your readiness to change? Where's the bottleneck? Because most of us know, eat more fruits and veggies, move more, sleep. Like most of us know those things, but what's the barrier to us getting those things done? And so in 60-minute visits, once you're decide to be in my ecosystem, we unpack that. We unpack, okay, well, you want to add more vegetables to your life. How are we going to do that? Not that you just need to do it, but practically, where are you now with that? And how are we going to move you forward to get to this goal that you're talking about?
Hey there, listeners. This episode of How to Get Ahead with Millennial Life Coaches is proudly sponsored by CoachCore.
CoachCore is an all-in-one platform built specifically for coaches by coaches. We get it. Running a coaching business can feel overwhelming with all the tech, marketing, and administrative work involved. That's why we created CoachCore, to take the stress out of those details and help you focus on what truly matters, your clients and the transformation you provide.
Exactly. Whether you're managing your calendar, tracking your client's progress, or assessing a comprehensive library of resources, CoachCore is designed to streamline your operations. Our platform automates the technical side of things so you can spend more time doing what you love, coaching and creating an impact.
And we know that coaches come in all shapes and sizes with different needs. That's why CoachCore is customizable, so it grows with you. It doesn't matter if you're just starting out or if you're scaling your business. Our platform supports every step of the way.
So if you're a coach who's ready to simplify your tech, save time and money, and grow your business, CoachCore is here for you. We believe that coaches should be empowered with the right tools to build a sustainable, thriving practice. So why not take a moment and check us out?
So visit us at coachcore.ca to learn more and start your journey toward business growth and tech freedom. And trust us, you don't want to miss the difference CoachCore can make in your coaching practice.
Thanks for tuning in to Millennial Life Coaches podcast. Let's get back to the episode.
And that's how we begin to start to let the client future pace.
I love that.
Because it's no longer about the 30 pounds tomorrow. It's about how do I move in a healthful way to get to the goal that I want to get to? And oh, by the way, the side effect might be I lose some weight.
Mm-hmm. So you look at more as like this might be the side effect to it, but we're really looking towards like the overall illness-free
Yeah,
aspect.
we're looking to longevity. We're looking to decreasing medicines if you're already on them. Some people, depending on, what you've had and how long you've had it, what can we eliminate?
Mhm.
Now, I do all of that with them keeping their primary care physician. I want to be very clear about that. Most women, because that's who I end up talking to most of the time, do not go to doctors that they don't like or even love and care and feel care deeply for them. So I want them to preserve that relationship while I take the pieces that my colleagues, because I was one of those doc colleagues back in the day who doesn't have time to do these things. You don't have time to have these conversations, nor unless you went back and did an additional certification, do you even have the training to do that? Because we're not trained for that at all.
Like you would think
Which
that that would be part of it.
you would, and it's getting better. But I've now been a doctor for 24 years, and back in the day, you only had to have, I think it was 24 hours of your entire medical training in nutrition.
Wow.
And they taught things like that you'd never see in this country, like scurvy and beriberi and vitamin deficiencies that taught to the test. And so you really, other than, okay, if they have high cholesterol, put them on a low-fat diet. But did they ever really teach us what that meant? Don't eat
Interesting.
McDonald's or fried food.
That's low fat.
That's low fat. And so I can sit back and laugh about it now because it's so tragic. But the beautiful thing about it, and I'm not bashing doctors at all, because at the end of the day, I use my doctor hat first and foremost. I'm a family doc through and through. I have a lifestyle medicine certification, which just makes me a family doc on steroids, is how I think of it. And I really think of myself more as a reformed family doc because now I have the time because I've built my life. So I have the time to actually walk with people in the way that I want to.
I love that. What would you say is one small habit that someone could listening could kind of start implementing if they're already kind of like, I've either got the illness or it's in the family and I'm potentially walking down that road, or I've been kind of cautious that it might be coming down to that. What is one small habit that you think can create one of the biggest long-term results?
Hmm. I think one of the biggest long-term results that people can have is to eat more whole plant foods. Um, you do not have to be vegan, you do not have to be hardcore, but we have plenty of studies that show when people eat more plant forward, they have less chronic illness.
Mm,
Um,
interesting.
and and that whole food would be, as an example, eating the whole apple instead of the applesauce, the apple juice, the apple fritter,
Fair.
as an example.
Okay.
Um, I think that's a beautiful place to start, and optimizing what people are already doing that's beautifully good is what I do in this space. I don't spend a whole lot of energy taking things away from people. That's not what it is. It's what can we add to your life to help you get to the goals that you want.
I like that. I guess this ties in. So, how would someone tell the difference between like a healthy discipline and maybe an unhealthy restriction when it comes to how they're choosing to take care of themselves?
Yeah, I think a healthy, mm, I don't think that restriction is healthy
Yeah,
at all. So I don't even talk about restriction.
fair.
We talk about addition and optimizing things that you're already purchasing. Like, for instance, most people don't read labels, they just buy what they like, right? In this space, we talk about reading labels. We talk about, what's saturated fat versus mono versus poly. Like we talk about all of those things so that you clearly understand when you're going to the grocery store. If you want to buy peanut butter, okay, buy peanut butter. But how about we buy peanut butter that's most minimally processed, that has nothing in it that you can't pronounce, because if you can't pronounce it, your body doesn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
And it either walls it off as fat, it walls it off as cancer, turns on genes that we don't want.
Yeah.
And so a lot of it is education, but education from the standpoint of I don't take things away from you. Here's what I want you to do. Go to the grocery store and let's pick the best option that you can obviously afford. We talk about like how to afford healthy diets because a lot of people believe that you can't eat healthy and still afford it. And I don't believe that's true. So I literally walk them through, okay, what are the stores that are around you? Which ones are you willing to go to? Which ones aren't you? Because some people have preferences. And okay, well, if you want to get this from over here and that from over there, you can do that, but you don't have to. So it really is a completely customized experience where we're taking what you have access to, what you would typically do, and we're optimizing it completely.
Because you said you work with more females
Mhm.
in this, can we dive down the hormone train? How does that impact? What have you
Yeah,
seen? I know at
sure.
different stages in life, different hormones set us off in different directions. So,
Yeah. I it's funny. Hormones are a big thing right now.
yeah,
Everybody's
buzzword.
talking about hormones, buzzword, and all of that. Um, I I don't spend a lot of energy on hormones. I'll tell you
Okay.
why. I think they're important, don't get me
Mhm.
wrong, but a lot of our hormone expression, or really our symptomatology, not even hormones, our symptoms are due to the things that we're doing or not doing.
Mm,
So if you take a woman who is eating mostly processed foods, who is maybe not moving her body often or at all, is probably not sleeping because she's taking care of everybody around her. Maybe she's in the sandwich generation. None of that is conducive to wellness. None of it. And so we have studies that show when you eat better, you have less hot flashes. We have
mm,
studies that show when you sleep, you have less hot flashes. You can, but you're a whole person, so you have to do whole things in
mm.
order to feel well. And it doesn't have to be hard or complicated or CrossFit or some extreme thing. It could be as simple as adding this bean versus that bean to your life. Um, Hormones are important and they ebb and flow and all of the things, but for me, it's about what are your symptoms?
Mhm.
Because your hormones are going to do what they're going to do. But how are you fueling your body? How are you treating the temple that God gave you or whoever your higher power is? And and when you start to make those changes, people magically start to feel better.
I
I
love
don't
that.
have to have people spend $300 on labs to know that.
Makes sense. I love that approach. I feel like hormones are something that so many people are talking about right now that you almost just assume that there's something that you have to look at, like some imbalance, where
Yeah.
it, like you said, it can just be, am I eating whole or am I eating more on the processed side? Is my default meal the sandwich because I'm too busy taking care of everybody else?
Yeah. And it's not to say that those labs aren't important, but I mean, do you really need labs to say that your estrogen is low when you're 56? I mean, I can respect it, but at the end of the day, um, some of that stuff is just intuitive.
Mhm.
And just because you know it's low, it does give you data. And I'm not saying that data is not important. And, it helps people make decisions about medicine. And that's great. They do that with their primary. I
Yeah.
don't need that information other than knowing what your diagnoses are so that I can help you optimize where you're trying to go. And if that's you want to have less hot flashes, then we're going to talk about the litany of things.
Hmm.
Um, I want them to feel a team approach to their care. I think that women, men, whoever deserve a team approach to their care. And that can't happen in our conventional medical system, not
I
near as effectively and efficiently as it could.
Yeah. I love that mindset because really when we talk about our health, there is so much more to it than one person can possibly provide the answers and the guidance to. So I love that you are very much, it's a team. It takes a community. What is it?
It
It
does.
takes a
It takes a
village.
village.
Yeah.
It does. It absolutely does. And I want people to know that their village has their back. I don't the clients that come into my ecosystem, they have my personal cell phone number. They can text, they're respectful and all of that. But at the end of the day, for instance, I had a client and I had to giggle because I'd never had this happen before. I was fairly new in business. And I have this client who was already starting to be plant forward, which was great. But she texts me with a food emergency. And I was like, what?
Didn't know such things existed.
I Who knew? And really, what it came down to was she had gotten through her entire day, gotten to 7 o'clock because she was super busy, and she had like sort of laid out what she had eaten for the day. And it was 7 p.m. and she goes to bed at 10 and she was trying not to eat within 3 hours and she wasn't sure what to do. Like, these are the things I've eaten. What can I do for dinner? Um, and I thought, oh my God, I love this space.
I mean, I get it. That's a valid question when you're trying to do all the right
I know
things.
she was trying so hard, and I literally said, "Okay, open your refrigerator. What's in there?" And we literally walked through putting a meal together for her that she didn't have to do a ton of cooking. I think she had to make some grains, but she didn't have to do a ton of cooking. It was just she literally was standing in front of the refrigerator and couldn't figure out what to do.
Mm.
And it was the cutest thing ever.
Love that. I feel like there's like kind of a little bit of like a block that comes up when we're so dialed in and what we think we should do that like when moments like that fight, flight, or freeze kind of kicks in and we're like, I don't know even what to cook myself right now.
Yeah,
Do you
like
find a lot
she
of beliefs
literally,
come up in this?
yeah, she literally couldn't make a decision. And she had beautiful things in her fridge. It wasn't that she had like ding dongs and ho-hos. I mean, she had beautiful things in her fridge. And I said, okay, take that, take that, take that, and make some grains. Go with God. And she was like, oh, thank you. Okay. And it's not a matter of it wasn't a matter of restriction at all. It was decision fatigue.
Mm,
It was literally decision fatigue and nothing else.
I guess, yeah. How many decisions do we make in any given day? That
Entirely too
makes
many.
sense.
Entirely too many. And she just couldn't do it. And I was honored that she had the wherewithal to reach for help
Mm,
and to be able to help with something that is so simple and so practical and to be able to be on the phone, I don't know, 15 minutes or whatever, to listen to the woosah that she had. That's priceless. You can't pay for that kind of stuff.
no. Wow, that's beautiful. Just I don't even know where to ask past that because I'm like, that was just a beautiful moment. I kind of want to stay in there for a second.
Yeah, feel free.
Um,
Yeah, I love it. I go back to it all the time.
let's talk about transformations. What transformations have surprised you most that you've seen within clients?
Hmm. I have seen clients heal from their IBS in 6 weeks,
Oh, wow.
um, 6 to 8, and not have that fight or flight of, oh my God, I have to know where every bathroom is everywhere that I am. Like,
That's
that's
like,
a horrible way to live.
oh yeah.
Um, that's probably the most powerful one that I've seen. I've seen that same client lose 20 pounds in 3 months,
Oh,
um, which is amazing. I'm so, so very proud of her. And it's not about perfection, it's about progress, um, and consistency, honestly. I've seen some of my arthritic patients have less pain. Who doesn't want to live with less pain?
right.
Those are the ones that like come to my mind the most.
I
It's
love.
just it's beautiful when you give the body what it desires, truly desires. It will show up for you every time.
That's so like this. I feel like this is divine timing, the recording of this, because like I feel like I just had this conversation earlier with somebody, and
Mhm.
what you had just said about it's not about perfection, it's about progress. That really hit home. So what would you say to maybe some of our listeners out there? I may or may not be one of these listeners, who has a very much like all or nothing
Mhm.
type mindset when it comes to, well, literally anything. But when it comes to our health, so we're either all in or we have a case of the like, I'll start on Monday kind of vibe and not pay attention to necessarily what we're doing in those moments. How would you guide or advise any of our listeners out there that are like, this sounds really interesting, yet I default to one of these categories and I really struggle to find that balance without going into perfection mode?
Yeah. I would say that I feel like when you're looking at your health and longevity, and quality, not just quantity, that the thing that comes up for me the most is grace and
Mm,
giving yourself grace. I say this about progress and not perfection because at the end of the day, we make so many decisions in the course of a day that something's going to go by the wayside. That's just a natural default. And so for a woman to beat herself up because she had a moment of loss of will, for lack of a better set of words, um, is silly. As women, we say things to ourselves that we would never say to our girlfriends.
so true.
We beat up ourselves in ways that we would never do for anybody else. And that negative feedback loop is why you're all in or all out.
Mhm.
Because if you could just give yourself some grace one meal at a time, one moment at a time, then the 80% of the time that you get it right would be celebrated, and the
Mm.
20% wouldn't matter. So I would say people are all in or all out because it's easy. Things worth having aren't easy. They may be simple, but not easy. And your health is a decision every
Mhm.
day, all day. Whether you choose to go out and get some sunshine for your vitamin D. I mean, we all, especially here in America, I know we have an international audience, but especially here in America, we're basically taught to grind. We don't have siestas, we don't pee, we don't we don't
Kind of
do
need
any
to.
things. Um, and then we expect to be well and to feel well.
Mhm.
And that's just insane. What if we gave ourselves the grace 15 minutes a couple times a day? What if we did that? What if we walked in sunshine? What if we sat outside and worked instead of inside? What if we decided to actually go to bed instead of Netflix? What if we, like, I could do it all day.
Yeah.
But it's all of that is self-care and all of that is grace in my mind.
Mm.
And you have to love yourself enough to give yourself the grace that you give others.
I feel like if I had a mic right now, I would just drop it. That was that was good. My gosh, I want to keep going, but I have to be mindful of the time. Um, so a couple more questions then for you, and then we'll
Yeah,
wrap it up.
you're
If
fine.
I'm
Go for it.
listening, I'm out here and I'm like, I'm loving everything she is saying. I need more information. How can someone find you?
Well, there's lots of ways, but Here's you can find me at Dr. Patrice High on Facebook and Instagram, and LinkedIn. Those are the three places you can find me. You can also find my website at www.NuEmpowermentHealth.com. And you can click a button that says schedule a visit. And it's going to send you down a little bit of a rabbit hole where you give me a little bit of information. You get to pick my calendar, go in my calendar, pick a mutual time, and we will unpack the things and figure out if we're even aligned. If I don't believe that we're aligned, I tell you that. I also act as a primary care consultant in this space because I hear crazy stories in those discovery calls. And sometimes the the goal that you're looking for with me has to wait until you deal with something with your primary care doctor because your safety is what's most important to me. And then we loop back. But sometimes I hear crazy things. I'm like, you did what? And they told you what? And it's been how long?
I could
Um,
imagine some of the things you have heard in
yeah,
what you do.
yeah. So I always want to err on the side of that first, and then we can work on your weight loss or whatever. But if your hemoglobin's 5, you got bigger fish to fry. Um, and I'm here for all of it. But that's been really fun. I didn't realize that that was going to end up being part of my company, but it has been because I just hear people who haven't had mammograms and who haven't done this and who haven't done that. And I'm like, oh, mm, I really want you in my ecosystem, but I really need you to take care of this thing first. I really want you to go have your labs done so that we know where you are so we can figure out where we're going.
Yeah.
And so
Love that. Ah,
that's how you
well,
find me.
I love it. We'll make sure that all of that is linked in the show notes below so you can go scroll down and take a click and go directly to her. Because I do have to wrap this up, what is one last thought, tip, wisdom, anything you would like to share?
Mm. Love yourself enough to know that your health matters.
Because it really does.
It really does.
Ugh, I love that. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. It has been absolutely a pleasure getting to chat with you.
Thank you
Uh,
for the opportunity.
this has been another episode of How to Get Ahead with Millennial Life Coaches, and we will see you on the next one.